Welcome to the fluttering blue butterflies, where imaginations take flight, little hearts listen, curious minds explore, and grown up souls unwind. Whether you're tiny, growing, or fully grown, there's always a little magic here just for you. Let's begin. This is episode 14 of the Mindful Muse playlist. Belief Filters. In episode 2, we explored how fear based beliefs quietly shape our thoughts, emotions, and actions. In episode 5, we discovered how replacing those fear based beliefs with love based beliefs allows us to reconnect with our true nature. Today, we take the next step. We are going to explore belief filters, the invisible lenses through which we see ourselves, others, and the world around us. Your beliefs shape how you see the world. What you perceive as real is often just a reflection of deeply ingrained beliefs within your mind, shaped by your society, your past experiences, and even inherited beliefs. Think of your subconscious mind as a pair of tinted glasses. Everything you see, every interaction, every experience passes through those lenses. If the lenses are clear, the world appears bright, open, and full of possibilities. If the lenses are smudged with fear, doubt, or limitation, your reality will always appear bleak, restricted, and confined. Most people do not realize that they are wearing these glasses. They live their entire lives mistaking that distorted view for the truth. These belief filters are not random. They have been programmed into you through your upbringing, your family, your schooling, the media, and even the collective consciousness of society. Many spiritual teachers describe this as outer hypnosis, the gradual conditioning that shapes the way we think without us even realizing it. Interestingly, modern neuroscience also tells us that the brain naturally searches for evidence that supports what it already believes. Cognitive psychologists call this confirmation bias. This means we tend to pay more attention to information that confirms our existing beliefs while overlooking information that challenges them. It can show up in different ways. You may seek out information that confirms your beliefs while ignoring the rest. Or you may constantly look for evidence that supports what you already believe to be true, rather than considering all the evidence available. If you believe you are unlucky, your brain will continually cherry pick experiences that seem to prove that belief. If you believe you're not good enough, your brain will unconsciously filter out opportunities that contradict that belief. Without even realizing it, you continue to experience the same patterns over and over again. That is why the same situations, the same reactions, the same emotions, and often the same outcomes keep repeating themselves in your life. The beautiful truth is this: these belief filters are not permanent. They are not facts. They are simply stories your mind has been telling itself. Therefore, you have the power to rewrite them. But before you can rewrite your beliefs, you first need to identify them. There are many different types of beliefs. Personal beliefs. These include perspective beliefs, experiential beliefs, influenced beliefs, and intuitive beliefs. And inherited beliefs. These include social beliefs, cultural beliefs, political beliefs, and religious beliefs. Identifying the belief filters. Personal beliefs. Take a moment and think about one area of your life where you feel blocked or stuck. It could be your finances, your relationships, your health, or any other area where you find yourself repeating the same experiences. Now ask yourself, what is the recurring narrative I keep telling myself about this area? Perhaps it sounds like, I am not smart enough. I am always rejected. Nothing ever works out for me. Or perhaps it is something entirely different. Now think about a specific moment from your past that reinforces this limiting belief. Maybe it was a time when you failed at something important. Maybe it was a relationship that did not work out. Or perhaps it was an experience that left you doubting yourself. How do you begin working on these personal belief filters? Close your eyes and gently bring that memory to the surface. Allow yourself to feel it. But this time, instead of replaying it the way it happened, rewrite it. Imagine yourself in that very moment again. But this time, as a new version of yourself. The version of you who is powerful, confident, aware, and in control. Change the script. See yourself responding differently. See yourself saying the right words, making the right choices, feeling the emotions of confidence, peace, triumph, and fulfillment. Allow yourself to experience that moment as though this empowered version of you had always existed. By revisiting the past and revisiting the emotional story attached to it, you begin planting new seeds in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. As we learned in the previous episodes, your subconscious mind responds to the emotions and meanings you repeatedly impress upon it. When you consciously choose a new meaning, you begin changing the belief behind the experience. Inherited beliefs. Now, let us address the deeper programming. The beliefs you never consciously chose. Many of the belief filters you're operating through are not even yours. They have been handed down through your family, your environment, and the collective beliefs of the society in which you were raised. These are inherited programs, software updates you never consciously asked for. Perhaps your parents struggled financially, and without realizing it, you unconsciously came to believe that money is difficult to earn. Perhaps you grew up in a home where love felt conditional, and you came to believe that relationships must always be difficult. Perhaps you inherited beliefs about success, about failure, about what you can or cannot become. These beliefs may have served those who pass them on, but that does not mean they have to define your life. To break free from these inherited belief filters, you first need to reclaim your supremacy. How do you regain your supremacy over inherited belief filters? Spend a few minutes each day journaling about the beliefs you hold that no longer feel true to your highest self. Then ask yourself, who gave me this belief? Where did it come from? Does it truly serve me? Or is it holding me back? The simple act of questioning a belief begins to weaken its hold over you. A belief that is never questioned is often accepted as truth. But once you bring it into the light of your awareness, you give yourself the opportunity to consciously choose whether it still belongs in your life. And that choice is where your freedom begins. An example: if you have been telling yourself, I had a tough childhood, that's why I struggle in relationships and with money, Or, I spent my childhood encountering negative or difficult experiences. Try revising that narrative. Instead of focusing on the pain, find even the smallest moments of love, support, or resilience that helped you face those experiences. Bring those moments into your awareness. Highlight them in your mind until they begin to overshadow the old negative narrative and the limiting belief attached to it. The goal isn't to erase the past. It is to transform your relationship with that belief. Here is the most important thing to understand. Your beliefs that shape your reality are not set in stone. They are changeable and they are entirely within your control. The world you see is just a reflection of the world you created within your consciousness, yourself. Change the inner world, and the outer world has no choice but to follow. Thank you for fluttering by with us. Maybe you giggled, maybe you wondered, maybe you simply paused for a while. However you listened, we are glad you did. And when your heart needs a little hush, or your soul longs to unwind, you'll always find a story waiting here just for you. This is the Fluttering Blue Butterflies, where every heart is welcome. See you again soon.